Simplify it. D-Smoke is for smart people, and everything else is for dummies. Just keep it
No,
100.
I'm not saying that. Nah, because I like dummy music. Because I'm in dummy enjoying music 70% of the time.
You're an intelligent hoodlum. You're a smart dummy. It's cool. It happens. Ladies and gentlemen, you have locked into Rap Life Review. I'm your host, Ebro. Join me, Low Key, and Eddie as we get into the Rap Life playlist, the hottest records out right now, the new albums, the business, and the culture of hip-hop. No topic is off limits. It's Rap Life Review. I'm Ebro, one of the hosts. We got Low, and our special guest, for the next few weeks is our guy Eddie, representing The Plug, representing the Zane Lowe Show, representing Apple Music One. So we're going to see where this goes. Our beautiful Nadeska, our glue, is not here. So who knows? Let's start with the new music.
Okay.
Lo, you was telling me you got into the Larry June project this weekend?
Yeah, I gave it a little listen, but I think Eddie can speak to it a little bit more because it's West Coast, it's Bay Area. It's a little bit more older. So I think, Eddie, give me your take, give me your perspective being a West Coast,
Did Larry
resident.
June deliver?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Larry June delivered. And I don't know what the temperature of Larry June is over there in New York, but I know on the West Coast, man, you can definitely feel like something's happening. And it's cool because nowadays rappers, they don't all got to be like 19, 17 years old. Like someone can be grinding on this career path and then something weird can happen. And all of a sudden, it just finally starts to stick. And I don't know, I feel like maybe I was kind of a little bit late on the Larry June thing, but I'm a fan of it now too. And Larry June knows what his lane is. Like you listen to it, it's like a 7-song project. It's very specific. It's very West Coast. It's very like, even more than that, it's very like 90s sounding. A lot of the West Coast you get now is kind of like Blue Bloods Clan, where it's just like a whole bunch of punch bars and they're saying wild stuff and you're sitting, even like Draco the Ruler. Like,
Right.
But what this is it's almost like a throwback. And if you're a fan of like Dom Kennedy,
Yeah.
if you listen to Dom Kennedy, it's something like that. It's vibing, riding around music. It's like you need to listen to it in a 5.0 type joint. And it's 7 songs of exactly that. Like, you know what you're getting at it, but it's good. Like, if you're in the mood for that, it's not too heavy. You just pop it on.
Larry June is very authentic. I think that's the thing that's allowed him to cut through here recently, is because he is seen as an authentic individual. And as you pointed out, Eddie, been grinding for a minute. It's interesting to see all the write-ups too. A lot of blogs and outlets is really covering him. It hasn't transcended over into the East Coast as of yet. I think, all he needs is one of them big records to pop in California. And then once that big record pops and he can start to move around, then it'll make its way. Or a dope East Coast collab would obviously build that bridge for him as well. Lo, you were saying?
No, and I was saying just like a big shout out also goes to Cardo. Cardo Got Wings, who produced the entire project.
Okay.
And Cardo always taps in. And Eddie mentioned, Dom. And Dom, I feel like, is in that same kind of category. Like you were just saying, Ebro, they need that one thing to pop over here. And like I've been a Dom fan for Lord knows how long, but I think the glue that holds it together is Cardo Got Wings.
But then, let's talk about NBA YoungBoy's project. That's another one of those. That's one of those. It doesn't require you to delve in or commit too deeply. You could just throw it on. And, he's got a huge fan base. He's got, a few hits under his belt already. He's still on lock, though. So this was recorded while he was, or before he was locked up and just now getting released. Am I understanding it correctly?
I think he's still locked up.
Yeah, he's still in jail, but I'm not 100% sure on the recording of it when it occurred. But what I will say about NBA YoungBoy is, if you don't understand, because here's what happens, man. There's people that's very surface deep, and you can listen to NBA YoungBoy on a surface level and just be like, okay, you might not get it. But what he has, and not everybody has this, he has an innate ability to connect with his fan base. Like, people that rock with NBA YoungBoy, they don't listen to him, they feel him. And and I hate doing this because I'm gonna give you an examples, and what you'll do is you'll be like, he's not like him. But it's like Nipsey. People don't hear Nipsey, they feel Nipsey. Mozzie, somebody else had a project that dropped like last week.
Mozzie's
people
project's
don't hear
fire, bro.
They feel Mozzie. And whether NBA YoungBoy's for you or not, people that rock with him feel him. And that's why he connects, and that's why he always does numbers.
Well, they feel him so well that they put out a change.org petition that's short of 50,000 signatures, and it's Joe Biden needs to free NBA YoungBoy. Now, I'm not quite familiar with all NBA YoungBoy's issues, but I think there's a list of them that got him caught up. And they feel him. So you look, and this happens a lot where people, we talk about this on the Rap Life Review. Lo, you get pretty passionate about rappers and doing stupid shit. But the fans of rappers and they stupid shit always just want to look past the stupid shit and just want to be like, yo, get my man out of jail. And you like, but I mean, there's laws.
Listen, man, like I get it. And Eddie, that was a great point you brought up about Nipsey and NBA. But to Ebro's point about me always getting upset about rappers doing stupid shit, and it's just like, how long do we excuse it? How long do we ignore it? How long do we say, oh, okay, well, he made a mistake? It's just like, bro, like, you have all this at stake, and continuously you find yourself in these messed up positions, and it's like, how many excuses, petitions do we got to do for you to understand that, we want you on the outside. We want you to make music. We want to feel you. We want to see your life get better, so on and so forth. How long do we have to campaign for you? Like, I don't know. It raises my blood pressure.
Here's the
Ebro knows
thing.
how passionate I get about it.
The world is filled with damaged and flawed individuals.
I understand that. I
because
definitely
the world is filled with damaged and flawed individuals, there's a lot of successful damaged and flawed individuals that their audience relates to. And that's, as Eddie was pointing out, that's part of the appeal. The authenticity factor of an NBA YoungBoy is because not only is he rapping about being in trouble and his issues and, whatever's going on in his personal life, but it's playing out in real life. This is not a new phenomenon in hip-hop. So, look, go check NBA YoungBoy. Go check also D-Smoke. A point I wanted to go back to, if you listen to D-Smoke's projects in general, they're very well produced. They're very dense. There's concept, storylines. There's, culture. There's a lot in there. And we were just mentioning two projects, Larry June and Cardo, and then NBA YoungBoy, which is kind of those joints you throw them on and you ride to. D-Smoke, very dense with the lyrics, very purposeful with the songs, very high-end production. And it's always a conversation I think is important in hip-hop, too, because the things that are easier for the audience to access, that don't require as much work, that don't require as much deciphering of what the message is and the content, tend to perform and get a quicker response and run up the charts or have a larger fan base than the things that are very dense and require you to lean in. D-Smoke is one of those artists, and I'm glad he's here, to balance out the things that just are frivolous, lowest common denominator, debauchery, with some real purposeful music.
Yeah. So like everything, you summed it up perfectly. Like a D-Smoke album, you have to almost be in the mood to listen to. Like the first listen also isn't always going to do it justice. Like you'll get through it and there's concepts and things that he's doing musically. Like one thing he's always going to do is tell story throughout the body of work. And just like when the album starts with War and Wonders, the title track, the first song is one of those almost like when you get 5 songs in one and it's like it blowing the smoke off the speakers and you're like, damn, bro, this is what I'm about to get for this whole album. That's what D-Smoke does. And unpopular opinion, like I get it. I love concepts and I love deep stuff, but sometimes I just don't be in the mood. It's saying that the D-Smoke album isn't that dense, but just to give you context on what you're getting yourself into, if you're in the mood, it's a great project because he's never gonna skimp on the quality.
Simplify it. D-Smoke is for smart people. And everything else is for dummies. Just keep it 100.
No, I'm not saying that. Nah, because I like dummy music. Because I'm in dummy enjoying music 70% of the time.
You're an intelligent hoodlum. You're a smart dummy. It's cool. It happens.
Bro, I'm a connoisseur of all things hip hop. I like it all, man. Like if we gotta get gutter with it, then cool. If we gotta be smart, let's be smart too.
Now, but the reason I brought this up, and this is because you guys, both of you, are lovers of all hip hop, no matter where it comes from. is there something to be said? Look, I feel like D Smoke is one of those artists that got in the game late. He was a teacher at a high school, and he decided to start putting out music because he wanted to use yet another platform to reach young people. Like, he is that person who is trying to reach young people and educate people and uplift people. That's his calling. That's what he wants to do in his community, through hip-hop, etc. Is it useful for artists to understand, because I think there's a lot of artists that don't understand, that if you are trying to make dense, purposeful hip-hop, intelligent hip-hop, it is a harder road to go?
I think it's about being genuine. We talked on it earlier with NBA YoungBoy and artists like that. It's like you just know it when you see it. When you're genuinely who you are, that is represented through the music. So D Smoke being who he is, he's always going to be able to find an audience. Like, he might not ever be, he's never going to be as big as Drake. He's never going to be big as NBA YoungBoy in that context, but he's going to find an audience.
I just wanted to, I think it was important with the albums that came out over the weekend for us to spend some time showing people that not everything is going to be a chart topper, but that doesn't mean it doesn't have a purpose in hip hop. We are in a bit of a quagmire, if you will, as a culture in hip hop right now, where there isn't a way to discernibly say, without question, this is the best. Because there's always somebody who's going to be like, nah, that ain't. I think that's what happened to Drake and why we can't agree on Drake having a classic album. You know what I'm saying? Is because you have individuals like myself. Drake ain't making music for me. I listen to an album, I'll be like, nah, this is dope. This ain't. His fans, though, he got multiple classic albums. And he got a lot of fans.
Yeah. And he shifted the goalposts, too, because I'm going to refer back to one of Low Key's tweet, and it kind of, he had a similar thing that I had. Years ago, I was waiting for Drake to give us that one rap album. Like, I think all of us older cats were like, all right, man, Drake is the cheat code. He can literally do it all, bro. Like, if you had to look up stats in NBA 2K and create a player, all the stats would be 99. Like, regardless of what your feeling is about Drake. But what ended up happening is cats like us, we wanted this rap album from Drake. Well, Drake figured out the code a long time ago. He was like, why would I'm eliminating, 50% of my audience if I just give him a rap album. I'm giving you an R&B album. I'm giving you a world album. I'm giving you a rap album. So his last album gave me 3 rap songs I rocked with. And then the rest of it's cool, whatever. So Drake has changed the goalposts, because even what a rapper is with him, he's the biggest rapper in the world, but he's also arguably the biggest pop star in the world. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that wasn't something like Jay-Z, as big as Jay-Z was, he was never a pop star. Lil Wayne was huge. Lil Wayne wasn't a pop star. You watch Monday Night Football. Monday Night Football got a playlist curated by Drake that they're advertising all day doing sports. We're in a whole new ball game. So the game is always shifting and changing, and what we want and what listeners want and what younger audiences want and fan base want. It changes, and then somebody like Drake is like, look, bro, I know how I can cast the largest net, and I'm still going to win. So that's exactly what I'm going to do, and I can't be mad at him for it. Does he have a classic album to me? No, but I also get the game he's trying to play.
As Eddie pointed out, the goalposts has changed, the measurements change, and we live in a world right now, and people love it, where everybody's right. Who's really wrong when the things that you like have an audience. Drake is a quintessential artist who's reached the top of everything and has tremendous fans, but what he won't have, and it may go his entire career, he has rappers who respect him as a rapper. He has pop fans who love his music. He has business people and people who read the charts, who love him as Drake, this guy who can have the Monday Night Football playlist. But what he won't have, that Jay, Nas, Rakim, KRS-One, Kendrick Lamar,
his peer,
J. Cole have, are pure rap classic respect. Which is why and this transitions to the next conversation, which is why he knows he got to get on that stage with J. Cole and give J. Cole his flowers.
You are genuinely, without a doubt, one of the greatest rappers to ever touch a mic.
I don't necessarily agree with that specific point, the tail end of it. I agree with everything you set up leading up to it. I don't think he needed.
Then don't agree. That's why he got a Benny the Butcher record now. That's why he on stage with J. Cole, giving J. Cole his flowers, because he knows that's the thing. He ain't quite locked in yet.
Nah.
He ain't
Buddy, that's
locked
his
that.
MO, though.
What does that do for him?
He always gets a record with something.
Yeah,
That's
like,
his
that's
thing.
nothing
Like,
new.
he'll get a record with an emergent. He was on Amigos Versace before everybody was on the Migos. Like, he's real good at like finding people right before they pop. He's real good at collaborating. Like, if a Benny the Butcher record that makes sense in the Drake blueprint. You know what I'm saying? Like, Drake collabs with everybody.
Look, y'all
if you're
can try
hot,
to clean
he'll do
it
a song
up for
with
your
you.
boy if you want to.
He my boy.
That's
That ain't
OVO
my
Low.
boy.
That's OVO Low right there. He knows, though, he cares about hip-hop, which is why he was on that stage with J. Cole, making sure that he said to J. Cole, you're one of the, because bar for bar, when you get into the bars of Kendrick, Cole, and Drake, when you get into the bars, the rapping skill for rappers, people who analyze rap, he knows that Cole is above him in that ability, in that skill set of rapping. Drake does dope. I'm not taking nothing away from Drake. That's not what I'm doing. But he knows J. Cole's a little bit more special. And if he got along with Kendrick, he'd be on stage with Kendrick too.
Yeah.
Because Kendrick is even a level above that.
And it's ironic that you say those specific names because we all know it. It's kind of like that 96 draft class when you had Allen Iverson, you had Kobe, and you had all these Hall of Famers. Those guys understand how we look at specifically those three. And we're always comparing them. And we're always like moving them up and moving them down and we're doing our own like basically what's that? A power ranking of those guys. And even though Drake is over here, you have like each has their own diehard fan base. We all heard the J. Cole went double platinum, no features. We've heard that for years. Kendrick has this thing, and it's you kind of wish they all did get along, but you kind of wish they didn't. Like I want them to all kind of like make beef records because you're always going to compare their careers to each other because they're peers, and not only are they peers, they're iconic rap superstars that all to us came out in the same draft class.
Well, and I also got to salute Cole because I think it is important too. Like even the joint he's got with Boz called the Jackie, which is about the Jackie Robinson Expressway over here in Queens, between Queens and Brooklyn. Cole played his man's taxi driver in the video.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like think about that. This your man's on your label. This your man's. You know what I'm saying? That y'all kind of came up with, but you're here. But for my guy, you're my guy. I'll be your driver in your video. You know what I'm saying? So that just shows you he's not too good to be regular.
He's not far removed from the process.
Right.
Not only who's that 3-ish, 4, 5-ish now, who's it been after them? Like I can't even think of someone that people we have that high of standards and lofty expectations for since them.
Oh no!
Because also too, what happened is
there's a group.
Because I mean, like
there's a group coming up.
Because like
Lil
Baby, because Lil Baby's the dude now.
Lil Baby, Dirk.
Okay.
Don't forget 21 Savage.
Yes.
21 Savage been putting out fire, bro. You know, there's JID, there's IDK, there's Earth Gang, there's, you know what I mean? There's, like you said, Lil Durk, there's Lil Baby, there's the girl No Name out of Chicago who's fire. Corday, I love Corday. Oh, Flo Milli, there's tons of names that have the potential to be that next. You know what I mean? It's about sustaining over an extended period of time. Drake, Cole, Kendrick been on what? We talking 11 years.
Yeah, 11, 12 years.
So you know what I'm saying? These dudes, this is a decade in the game. So it's about staying power and being able to really craft, A, what your brand is, B, making quality music, and your skill set improving over time. You know what I mean? And becoming a bigger icon. Before we wrap today, I think we got to shout 21 Savage, who got kind of caught up in another legal situation as he was going to. He had to turn himself into police following warrants related to that ICE case. Still, despite 21 Savage, the last issue, Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency, this was from 2019, he is still dealing with the legal issues. And as far as the warrant goes, the legal document reportedly claims that the night 21 Savage was taken into custody in 2019, he tossed a bottle of liquid, which tested positive for codeine. And there was a firearm reportedly found in the car with 21 back then as well. So they still holding on to that.
See, this one hurts because if you know anyone that's been caught up in our legal system, specifically this American legal system, it's really hard to get yourself out. Like, it's really, really difficult. And the feeling for me is they try to make examples of people like 21 Savage. Yep. And 21 is someone I've grown to not only root for and like musically, but as a person. Like, he's done the opposite of the conversation, what we've talked about. Like, the things he's done within his community as far as like financial literacy and like school drives and everything else he's done and things. Like, he's someone who just speaks genuinely, and you can tell he's from an impoverished trap of a situation, but he's trying to make himself better and drag people along with him. Like, not drag people down, drag people up, pull them up is a better term for it, pull people up. And as he's gone through these legal battles, and I don't understand, the legalities of it all, but to me, the perception, the feeling is they're trying to hold something onto him from a dude who's trying everything within his power to uplift people.
So they entrap vulnerable people that they know they can take advantage of because they know they can get them caught up, and either they're going to make money on them through the bail system, or they're going to make money on them through cheap labor of having them behind bars. And, most of those people tend to be black men like us. And so they end up looking like us, most of the people in jail. And there are friends and family members that get caught up in the legal system, and it causes you to not be able to keep a job, B, not be able to even get housing when you get out of jail, break up your relationship with your family, break up a relationship with your kids. You know what I'm saying? And basically, you're wondering why when we drive around most cities in America, most of the mental health people you see and homeless people you see on the street is black men. And people are always asking why. Well, why is because this system that we live in, this country we live in, was built on breaking black men. That's what this country was built on. And so it's going, and we make it easy for them because of the cycle that we get caught in when we're just how we started the conversation today.
And what I say, and what I get frustrated of that cycle because it puts us back in this spin cycle of the American legal system where we can't get out, where we can't do things, where we can't progress, where we can't fix our lives.
Well, and it's normalized, Lo. It's normalized.
I know,
it's
but that's
normal.
why it's frustrating.
It's almost
that's
a rite of passage. It's a badge. It's a badge of honor to be like, yo, I did time. I did a bid. I did this. Like, it's a badge of honor. And that's the real sick, twisted part of it, is because now, because it's so rampant, we've convinced ourselves, many of us, that it's okay. For Eddie and Lo, I'm Ebro. That's been the Rap Life Review. Subscribe, add the playlist. This is all made possible. Shout out to the Apple Music team. We'll be back here next week. Nadeska, we miss you. You know what I mean? If you missed the episode last week, Nadeska's out having a beautiful baby, starting a family and all of that. So it's a beautiful time. And we'll see y'all next week. Love.
Peace.